Protecting my peace for so long, a little too good, now I'm solo. Watching reruns of the same shows. Almost everybody on a no-show. Even with green lights I don't go. Never been sure, no I don't know. How does everybody else let go of the ego? Don't go out nearly as much as I should. Barely know the way around my neighborhood. I'm ruminating, I feel no good. Not living life like I know I could. Like I know I could. Like I know I should. Like I know I could. Like I know I could. Like I could. If you would show me, yeah. If you would show me, yeah, yeah. If you would show me, yeah, yeah. I spent so much time daydreaming. Now I don't know how I'm feeling. Don't know who is the real me. Might need my help and I thought I needed. I can see it. Need my healing. More believing, less deceiving. I don't go out nearly as much as I should. Barely know the way around my neighborhood. I'm ruminating, I feel no good. Not living life like I know I could. Like I know I could. Like I know I should. Like I know I could. Like I know I could. Like I could. If you would show me, yeah. If you would show me, yeah, yeah. If you would show me, yeah, yeah. I might need therapy too. Help dilute all the bad news. Cause I just can't deal with the lose-lose situations you have to go through. I think I need therapy now. Recycling all the same doubts. Heard it a million times. Cause I tell myself all the same lies. I might need therapy too. Help dilute all the bad news. Cause I just can't deal with the lose-lose situations you have to go through. I think I need therapy
Peace, 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 everybody. Ah! Peace. Peace, everyone that's coming on. Welcome to some more of this Negro problem that's going on in the world. I didn't know it was so ingrained in us where I was called a crackhead. Now, I've been called a lot of things. A lot of things. In this lifetime, but a whole crackhead, that's different. That is real different. So I'm allowing Kemet speaks, since I'm a crackhead. I'm allowing Kemet speaks to get some splaining, right? Get some splaining, because he claims that we crackheads because there's no proof of these so-called slave ships. Yeah, it's no proof to these, so-called slave ships. So yeah, let's get it. We definitely about to get it on. Peace to everybody that's coming in the chat. Yeah, we was called crackheads. Out of all the things we could have been called, yeah. And you're right. The world class says some zesty looking Kemet. Yeah. With the side with the side picture. Yeah, that's pretty zesty, I would say. Yeah, he said, "See, I can't retire in peace. Ain't no retirement. Ain't no retirement." Let's go ahead and get some shout out. Shout out to my number one. My number one. Day one since day one. Richard Neal Bay. He was with all the shenanigans today. Oh my goodness. Yahoo, I don't even know who you are. You a new troll. We don't even know who you are. Yahoo, I'm going to put the link in the chat again for you, because I want you to come up on a panel. Because nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows what you're talking about, Yahoo. So please come up so that you can address your concerns, because it seems like you've been attracted to moving without motions. We don't know why, because we don't even know you. Nobody. When I say nobody knows who you are, I'm literally saying nobody knows you. So yeah, Yahoo, you can come up. You can come up here, Yahoo. Yeah, we got shout out to Queen Dr. Neve channel. That's my sis. Shout out to you. Shout out to my of course, my god brothers, always with the smoke at the world class. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to their channels.
Both of those are definitely platforms you want to stay close to. On those platforms, Brother Miguel Bay definitely take you into relationships, problems within our communities, male, females, and children.
That's
definitely
right.
check it out. And our doc, she got something for everybody. She got a bag, and she can go in her bag, and whatever problem you're going through, she can meet you there. Definitely. And can I say and share, please don't think we in here set tripping, gang banging, or throwing down our ancestors from the Kemetic society. But we need to see these slave ships. or quit teaching it to our children. Real talk. Think about the mental damage that has done to us and our parents before us. The movie Roots, which was a lie.
How did the movie Roots? Cause see, you was there when y'all watched it in school. Y'all watched it at home, and it had to go to school the next day.
No lie. In the 8th grade, after I watched it at my grandma's house that Sunday night, that Monday in the 8th grade, I went to school, slapped one European, and me and Stacy, who moved out to New Jersey / Baltimore, we ended up we took it to a whole nother level. We was ready to whoop every European that was in there who even looked at us, and that's what we did. And they kicked me out of school. But that movie had me so mad at Europeans. And my father talking about, remember Noble Drew Ali said, learn to love instead of hate. Man, y'all got me crazy. Let me sit in here and watch this movie of Roots and then send me to school. Now, I don't want to hear from no European teacher, and I'm watching the European students.
Mm-hmm.
So it went up.
Went up. That's right. Queen Eve said that she got into a fight too. Oh man, got into a fight too. Shout out to His Majesty the Magnificent Ill, our brother A. Griffin Ill, the chairman. Let's see who else we got in here. Brother Ahmed Ahava, Brother Barnesdale, peace. Let's see, Islam, the camel exports, Noble Khan Bay.
Oh man, that's our herbalist, Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our doctor and our herbalist on here and our brothers. That's mighty.
Mm-hmm.
At the last moment, brothers and sisters can come together and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice and represent what we have from our ancient forefathers. That's mighty.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for this Kemet speaks. I think he got scared.
Oh, he don't get scared.
he gonna call me a whole crackhead.
He probably like you. He's probably trying to flirt with you. What you think? What the doc say? What the doc say? What you pick up out of this, doc? He ain't scared. He gonna come back for her. He might like her. He might say, let me try to flirt with her a little bit.
He called me and her crackheads.
Say what? Oh, wow. Say what? You see what your brother Miguel Bay put in the chat?
He said he was slapping them.
That's what that movie programmed to do to us. Make us go out there and start beating them down.
For no reason. Because the crazy part about it, it was a lie.
It was a lie. Falsehood. We moving off a straight falsehood, y'all. You heard our doctor. She wasn't no ratchet sister growing up. So it wasn't just in the hood, it was everywhere.
That's right. Shout out to Young God that just came.
A new subscriber. That's what we're talking about.
Salute.
Definitely. This information that we share on YouTube and on these platforms is not just for us. What we receive, we want to share with everyone who wants it. And those who don't want it, we can't enforce it on them. It's only for those who want it.
That's right.
Put that out there. Some people want to be slaves. Some people want to be from Africa. East Africa, West Africa, North Africa. They just want to be from Africa. But they have no proof. But they still want to be from Africa. You know, one of the sheiks shared with me earlier. He said, it's crazy. And he said, I salute you because you stood up when everybody with your group of the Moore Science Temple America in 1996 and 97 started changing their names, he said, you said, talking about myself, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that they owe us in a compound interest. Why I want to get rid of Neil. It's not a slave name, Moore.
That's right.
But
Your name
Moors in
is
the
your name.
temples teach it's a slave name.
Mm-hmm.
This is misinformation. But they learned that from that Pan African teachings
Right.
because they have doctor in front of their name.
Mm-hmm.
So what they say become the truth. And what you say, oh, you just crazy. You's a crackhead. You don't know nothing. You a nobody.
Ah.
Check it out.
Yeah. A whole crackhead.
Made you a whole crackhead and the doctor who can heal you from that disease. Smoking that crack pipe or snorting that stuff. However it goes. She can heal you from that. But you want to call her a crackhead and not show up. These are women. Brother, how you say his name again? Yai? Who you call him?
Kemet speaks. Kemet speaks.
Oh, so Kemet speaks.
Kemet
No,
speaks.
we're not doing that to our ancient forefathers. No. We're going to call him by his name because he didn't show up.
That's right.
You can't put that on our ancient forefathers. No.
His Majesty Magnificent said, Kemet can't speak now.
Ain't none of that got nothing to do with Kemetic. We got Kemetic scholars inside of the Moore Science Temple of America. Never forget it. A doctor. She can break down those teachings in the Kemetic halls. She said, nah, but I was ratchet the next day. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means. Yeah, brother brother, whatever his name is, Kemet speak. Don't be scared. Come on up, brother. It's gonna be in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We don't know you personally, so we can't say anything about you. But you can get this truth.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna get this truth.
You should get this truth. I told Sarnetta, I told Aboriginal Power. I start telling all our people, man, look, man, we're going live. I'm about to send some people over.
Oh man. I don't even know who this individual is.
Nobody knows him, probably. You see what they saying in the chat about him? He was sent. And they probably said, no, you can't do nothing with. You got two of the strongest sisters in the Moore Science Temple of America. Now stand down on that. Yeah. And then you take the doctor away from the Moore Science Temple of America. She's still standing on her square. She's been qualified in all kind of different orders. You take my wife, and she's still gonna stand on her square because she's been qualified in different orders. Now, where you at, brother? Don't run. Don't run.
He's scared to show. I know what he's saying. I put it up so quick.
He thought you was gonna duck him or something.
Because I move so fast. I put it up the. I put the flyer up so quick. Nah, you can't just be out here calling us old crackheads. You defaming my character. I can't have that. I can't have that. And with nobody. I'm coming for everybody. I ain't listening to, some folks be like, oh no, just leave it alone. Just act like you don't see it. Just let it know. I'm not doing that. Not doing none of that. Camel Export says, what's a doctor? Doctor is a medical practitioner practicing medicinal uses and medical purposes. All right. Yeah, I can't I can't even let that slide. This man called us whole crackheads. I said, man. You know, I didn't even know they even still sell crack anymore. I found out this summer that they actually still people actually still get high off of crack. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Well, look, if you smoke crack or you're using cocaine, please quit today. They're going to kill you. Cocaine has fentanyl in it now. Okay? I don't care where you at in the United States. Throughout the United States, cocaine has fentanyl in it. Marijuana, listen to me. If you go and buy your marijuana on the streets, you need to start growing your own marijuana if it's acceptable in your state. Because now they're spraying the marijuana down with fentanyl and sugar water.
Oh wow.
So in the class I just took, it says if you light that stuff up and it smells like burnt popcorn, let your windows up in your house. And here go the hard part. Call the police on yourself.
Wow.
You got fentanyl. Don't lay down on it. Let the police come with the ambulance. Go to the hospital. If it smells like burnt popcorn, don't smoke that stuff. You will die in your sleep. Peace. You ain't gonna get information like that from everybody everywhere. What I just said, you're gonna get the real. That's why they don't like us, y'all. You're gonna get the real.
Wow. Wow. It said let your windows up and call the police on yourself.
Call the on your
Wow. So yeah, we gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and get started.
police on yourself and open up those windows and be honest. Don't lay down on that stuff thinking you high and you might be passing on to the next life. So
Wow.
grow your own. Put the link in there for them, Empress, please, so where they can get a tower garden and grow their own food. Not just marijuana. Grow your own food. Y'all see those watermelons exploding in Walmart? GMOs ready to explode inside of you if you would have bought it. You gotta grow your own food.
You definitely got to grow your own food. If you're not already growing your own food, you should definitely be growing your own food. I gotta find that link and put it in there. I'll put it in there though.
Word on the street is Kemet speaks saying that you're crack, smoking crack, but he don't pop up.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's what degenerates do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Kemet. More like Kermit. I'm gonna be nice. Well, I ain't gonna be stupid.
Yeah, he look, I've been caught a lot. I'm really in my body about this, y'all, because I've been caught a lot of things in life.
Empress, you never been called a crackhead before.
Never.
Wow. Me either. Hey, y'all took a nap after prayer, and I woke up, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm going live today." And so, yeah. She said, "Yeah, I got one of the Kemetic brothers." I said, "Uh-oh. Here we go." See, so your first debate, you won. Knockout. Praise Allah. The ancient ones probably told you sit yourself down somewhere, boy. You messing with heat.
Oh man.
You messing with those four elements. You ready to mess with those four elements?
The crazy part about it is he said that his father, listen to this, y'all.
Uh-oh.
He said his father was from Liberia.
Oh, he ain't one of us anyway then.
No, you know, Liberia was created by Liberia. That's the crazy part about it. He thought he was saying something. Man.
Because all of them want to be from Africa. All of them. Even in the temples.
Man.
They want to be from Africa.
Crazy.
None of them want to be from over here. They great-great-grandma. They want to make her from Africa. They great-great-grandfather from Africa. Stop it. But they have nothing to show and prove. We are at home. We here. Go. I don't care what you study, what you look up. It's going to all add up to right here for most of us. Unless you're polite. It's a lot of polites out here.
You know, I used to ask the old members in the temple, why y'all teaching that we from Africa when the prophet already told us that we home? Like, how you can't say that we from Africa and say that America is ours at the same time. It just don't make logical sense. Never made sense to me. But they definitely did it.
But check out Noble Drew Ali. He kept saying when the new Moors come in, they're going to come in with their eyes open. When I see these like Top Cat and Aboriginal Power and some of these other brothers, I got to listen to them, Moors. You know why? Because they're giving you history that a lot of Moors wouldn't read, wouldn't even go into. We'd just go with what the professors say. Pan-Africanism. Straight Pan-Africanism. If it's written by one of their scholars, all the way from 88 to up to now, they've been using misinformation.
Right.
It's easier to do it that way than to actually take the time out, have to read, decipher, which means you got to think from the truth and falsehood. Think about some of the books y'all read. We want to say the brother name. He done did so much research that he's going blind. You see what I'm saying? Where he need glasses. That's how serious this is, brothers and sisters. You know? And a lot of Moors don't want to do that. They don't want to read. They like to regurgitate information to you.
Right. That's right. But what's crazy is you have all these stories of years and years and years of us being like descendants of Africans and us being African slaves. However, we still ain't found one slave ship. Not one.
Not one.
Not one slave ship.
Not a piece that fell off the slave ship. I mean, if they can find things of the character Jesus, okay, we can't find anything representing a slave ship. Which one's older?
And then they'll say, the Catilda in Alabama, right? They know that's a lie. And when I saw they had the Netflix special on Hulu, one of them, and that was they had it taped off. So they had this tape off to show how many slaves the Catilda had on it, So, and showing it had the so-called descendants of the slaves.
Can
And
can can the doc and all them come on up since we don't have him? The doc got to get off at 6.
yeah, anybody can come up. I'll put the link
I'm
in there.
surprised Miguel, your brother, ain't been up here yet. I think, yeah, we weren't gonna beat the brother up in a nasty way. Kemet speaks. We love Kemet. It's just we know we got Kemet from over here, not from over there.
Yeah, you know they
We got Islam from over here, not from over there.
yeah, they definitely anybody can come up. I'm gonna share this real quick.
Because our sister said she got to get off at 6.
All right.
Our herbalist, Brother Miguel, Brother Chairman, anybody? It's open.
Yeah, anybody that want to come up, they can come up. I'm gonna share my screen.
And while you're doing that, I'm looking at emergency recall alert on beef, buns, and toys.
Beef, buns, and toys.
CPSC, I never heard of that. USDA, CPSC, all of them got recalls out right now. And pay attention, since we on here, let's share with the people. Let's pay attention to the flooding that we have in Atlanta, Chicago, the natural disasters that's happening in the Islamic cities, countries. It's all by plan. That's not Allah's will. That's man's will. They're going to make it rain.
Right.
Wake up, you sleepy-headed Moors. And they're talking about a government shutdown might be coming. Wake up. Don't fall asleep. We might be going into another government shutdown. It's a lot going on. Uh-oh. Kemetic speaks.
So yeah, Kemet speaks. This is what he said. He said, let's see. He said, let me know when you're available to go scuba diving into the Ethiopian Sea. And I wouldn't pay, and you wouldn't pay up. I know your type. All talk and no facts. My father is Liberian. Go read about the Dahomey people and how they refused to be enslaved when the captors came stealing. You and K. Glover Ill are smoking crack if you think the transatlantic slave trade never happened. Just because you don't see it in archives, how ignorant are you really? Shaking my head. That's what he said. I ain't making it up. You see it. Kemet speaks. Come on down.
He ain't coming. He's scared.
Come on
He's
down.
not
Kemet
coming.
speaks.
He's not coming. He called you and Sister Alicia crackheads. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He said y'all smoking on some good if y'all believe
Yeah.
this stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, he said we were smoking on some good, so
I don't think they got vegan crack, do they? They got vegan crack somewhere?
Oh, I don't know about that. So, you know, just so y'all can get a little bit of information.
Okay.
Said that his father was Liberian. So it should be easy for him to be able to find the slave ship records.
That's right.
right? Because Liberia wasn't founded until 1847. That's
They
pretty
didn't.
recent.
Yeah,
That
they didn't
is
go through half of what we went through over
yeah,
here on these shores.
1847. Okay.
Come on with it.
Founding of Liberia, and this is from the history.state.gov. The founding of Liberia in the early 1800s was motivated by the domestic politics of slavery and race in the United States, as well as by U.S. foreign policy interests. In 1816, a group of white Americans founded the American Colonization Society to deal with the problem of the growing number of free blacks in the United States by resettling them in Africa. The resulting state of Liberia would become the second after Haiti black republic in the world at that time. All right. Now, Joseph Jenkins Roberts was the first president of Liberia. Now, here's the problem, right? Now, this is when you got to go and you got to look at and understand these little catchphrases that they throw out, like white and black.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? Because white wasn't even a thing until 1613.
Wake us up. Wake us up. Listen, Morris. Which means man of original race.
That's right. White, a reality of race, the term white people was invented by a playwright in 1613.
Y'all hear that?
Thomas Middleton's The Triumphs of Truth is the earliest printed example of a European author referring to fellow Europeans as white people. So it wasn't even until 1613 before you even heard of this thing called white applied to Europeans. The Jacobin playwright Thomas Middleton invented the concept of white people. He invented the concept of white people. So even because I hear Moors even say, well, I'm a white person because I'm free, because I'm a free white person. White, again, was invented by the European. There was no such thing as a white person. So how are you a white person? How are people white? Come on now. Come on, y'all been slipping. Y'all been slipping. We all slip from time to time. He said on October 29th, 1613, the date of his play, The Triumphs of Truth, was first performed. The phrase was first uttered by the character of an African king. Right? Because I'm telling y'all, this white people was really Africans. Listen, because the real white people are Africans. The real white people are Africans, like your boy Elon Musk, who's an African American. Okay? Obama, an African American. These are the real Africans. Since we love this, since they love Africana studies so much. White people, the term, the phrase was first performed. The phrase was first uttered by the character of an African king who looks out upon an English audience and declares, I see amazement set upon the faces of these white people. Wound rings and strange gazes As far as I and others have been able to tell, Middleton's play is the earliest printed example of a European author referring to fellow Europeans as white people. A year later, the English Commodore John Rolfe of Jamestown, and this is the same John Rolfe that supposedly had married Pocahontas. John Rolfe of Jamestown in Virginia took as his bride an Algonquian princess named Mataoka. And that's supposed to be Pocahontas, whom we call Pocahontas. The literary critic Christopher Hodgkins reports that King James I was at first perturbed when he learned of the marriage, but this was not out of fear. And see, he wasn't mad because the marriage was done because they supposedly had stole Pocahontas from Virginia and took her to Europe without her family knowing. And now the Pocahontas, that ain't even a real person. Pocahontas is not a real person, but this is the story. So we going on with the story, right? And the story says that Pocahontas came through to Europe. And when she came through to Europe, King James I was mad and upset because John Rolfe was not of the class of nobility. No. John Rolfe was poor. He was a peasant. So when have you known peasants to steal a princess? Come on, y'all, listen to this. A peasant stole an entire princess and took her from her home and took her across the world. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because you can't do that in the hood today. You can't just come up and take somebody's child. It's a grown woman. And it's only a couple of y'all. It ain't even a lot of y'all. And you're able to get by all of the security. All the security guards. You're just able to get by all the security guards. Come on, this is another Hollywood story. They've been rocking us to sleep with these Hollywood stories for so long. It's crazy. Yeah, well, the white person, there was no white person until 1613, right? So that's one of the issues that we have with Liberia being created by these so-called white people that was a part of the American Colonization Society, right? Because they wasn't white. No, they weren't white. They weren't white. No, they look just like Kemet or Kemet speaks. Kemet speaks. Yeah, that the same one. The ones that created the American Colonization Society look just like Kemet speaks. Yeah, that's what they look like.
Can I share something real quick? Okay, look, I never knew this was gonna come out like it done came out today. But this Pocahontas, y'all be careful with that. When I was in the federal prison, I met a couple of different, and this was in the medium, Wasika, Minnesota. We had a Pocahontas there. And I learned.
Hold on. We get some feedback. Well, hold on. They had a Pocahontas. Hold on.
And what I found out,
You get feedback. It was a it says a Pocahontas. In the federal prison. Oh my goodness! You said there's a Pocahontas in the federal prison? Hold on. So they had a sister there named Pocahontas in the federal prison.
no.
Woo! Oh wow! You had a Pocahontas. It was a woman. Because I'm not understanding none of this. Yeah, there was a woman named Pocahontas, and the feds with y'all. Because we got His Majesty the Magnificent El said, "You don't want to be a Pocahontas." What? What's going on? What?
That's exactly what I was sharing. My phone was tripping. Excuse me. When I was in there, and he tried to act like a woman. They said the last.
Oh no, Paul! Flag on the play.
They were sleeping.
Did you say he tried to act like a woman?
He
Pocahontas?
tried to act like a woman, like the brother said. Usually, if you run into a Pocahontas in prison, stay away from him. And the numbers, like you have 024, 025, everybody can tell where you're from. He had, I think, 00 all the way through, or something like that, and or ones. They're like, bro, that's an agent. An agent sent in here, or they were hiding him, and he was in there sleeping with everybody. Pocahontas. I said, hold on, what? He put Kool-Aid on his lips, etc., etc. I'm not going to get too graphic. And they would move him from one house to another house, trying to get him to stop doing what he's doing. I said, man, y'all spreading AIDS throughout the prison system.
Oh, wow.
Pocahontas. Beware of Pocahontas. Now, what they do is when you get caught sleeping with these people, right? They contact your family and let them know what's going on.
What?
I think it's a game. But Pocahontas had a record, y'all.
Oh, man.
From house to house, from prison to prison, sleeping with men.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure he gave them HIV without SAP. Beware the Pocahontas. It's a setup from the government.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I told you they call your family and let them know. Anybody who sleep with him,
sounds stressed out.
you were getting HIV or whatever that man had. They knew he had it.
Man.
And they were hiding him. They seen the odd number or the crazy number like I did. Why would you want to sleep with somebody that's a man anyway? I don't care how long his hair might hang or what he got on or what he say or how he make his voice sound like a woman. It's a man. And you had a lot of brothers. GDs, BDs, Stones, Vice Lords, everything besides one who say, Ashadu alayhi la. running up, being best friends with Pocahontas.
Wow.
Security and all think it's a joke. You ain't gonna do nothing to Pocahontas.
Mm-mm.
They got security. Beware of Pocahontas. Now I come home, and many years later, I'm like, what? Man, Pocahontas is fake. And they've been knowing this is a character. They've been using this character for centuries on our people.
He said they've been knowing Pocahontas was a character for centuries
Man,
on our people.
From our children to the adults. Think it's a game.
Oh, man. So they've been playing this whole Pocahontas thing.
Man, think it's a game.
Oh, wow.
That was in Waseca, Minnesota. Not too far away from Sandstorm. And you had a lot. I'm going to tell you what Pocahontas usually are considered as Native Americans.
Oh, shut up.
They are Native Americans. And you know Native Americans always been into having long hair.
Wow.
And those brothers in there going for a man.
Yes, it's a family channel.
Pocahontas.
Wow. So they've been playing this whole Pocahontas thing on us forever. No, Goodwill, Powhatan daughter name was not Pocahontas. But they've been playing this game on us, y'all. Look. It's rough out here. It is rough. We ain't got no friends. We ain't got no friends whatsoever. Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's Pocahontas, and if you in the feds. And so let me ask you this: was Pocahontas was it just one, or is it there's several is it more than one? Because I need to know this. Is it just one
Everywhere I went, if you ran into a character with a name like that, I was taught stay away from them. It's a character. They hiding them out in the federal system.
Wow.
Now all of them wasn't gay, but usually that's a hideout name. They got a couple other names like that in the federal system.
Well, so what's some other names?
It'd take the acting chairman to come in and share with me, because I knew Pocahontas stood out to me the most because I seen all my brothers who I thought were my brothers going the other way.
So you talking about the
GDs.
The GDs. Oh man.
You know what they do? After 21, they say you can have a boy if you're in prison.
Oh man, that's what the GDs.
Stop for a lot. Yes.
Oh.
I'm just being real with you now. I'm like, no, that ain't GD. That's what your people say. That's not GD. Pocahontas, though, is a character name given by the government, and it's usually bad business.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So it's a setup either way, whether it be...
Correct. And they have other names that they hide people under, but usually you can tell by the numbers. 024, 026. It should never be like all even numbers or all odd numbers. You get somebody like that, they hide. Hiding them in the federal system. Because you got to remember, everything you do on a reservation, you go to
the feds.
The feds.
Right.
Just like in D.C. Anything you do in D.C. is federal.
Right.
Now, the D.C. boys, I was comfortable with them making their way to Pocahontas. You see what I'm saying?
They do.
Because they'd knock you out and run up in you.
Oh, wow. That's what the D.C.
All right, I'm gone. Y'all stay out of prison and stay away from Pocahontas.
Oh, wow. That's what they do. Miguel, them DC boys different from Baltimore. Ah, it's different. It's real different. We don't do that. Man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Yeah, man said pause. His Majesty said too real for TV. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Hey, one thing I can say about Baltimore, they are really about the principles of no homosexual acts. They beat their brothers up if they catch them in there messing with a homosexual.
Wow. Wow.
Baltimore don't play that.
Wow.
They don't play that. They don't play that. They
Young God said, "I'm from Baltimore. What part of what you from?
Uh-oh.
You from east or over west?" Young God. The guy said it's the wildest advice I got in this decade. Not the whole decade.
But now what I was told the other day is you can still find Pocahontas in a lot of these federal camps, and they still doing the same thing when I was in there 20-some years ago.
Wow.
Pocahontas is still a real character in the federal system. Whether they snitching or snitched on somebody major, or they homosexuals, so they're going to let them grow their hair out and play like they're a woman and move them around.
That's crazy. East Baltimore. That's what's up.
Yeah, Baltimore don't play none of that. DC had their own thing. It could be 3 of them on the compound. If you fight one, the other one's going to jump you. And if you fall out or get knocked out, hey, turn your head and walk away if you ain't going to help that brother up. That's all I can tell you. Bestiality is real in the federal system.
Man, and then you got to think about it because DC don't have a state penitentiary system. Their system is the Fed, so they pretty much run the federal system. They run the federal system.
It could be 3 or 4 of them on the compound. Do not fight them and lose, please, or get knocked out. They taking that.
You said, oh yeah. He said, are you from up top or down the hill? I heard down the hill in for a month or so.
Down the hill. Down yonder. In Mississippi, that's how they say it, down yonder. You from down yonder?
Young guy, you born and raised East Baltimore, you might know my family.
He might be your family.
He might be. Young guy,
one of your little cousins.
You be on Chase and Biddle Street.
All right, y'all, I'm off of here. Peace of love. Stay away from Pocahontas. That's a character made up. You won't find that on the information with their family. That's an agent working.
Man, Pocahontas is an agent. It's not real. It's oh man. That's why it was like a Disney character. That's exactly why it's a Disney character. Oh wow. Yeah, gone. They got us with a Disney character, y'all. Yeah, so whew, that's a lot. So it says Joseph Jenkins Roberts, the first president of Liberia. Prominent Americans such as Henry Clay, Daniel Webster, and John Randolph were among the best-known members of ACS. Former President Thomas Jefferson publicly supported the organization's goals, and President James Madison arranged public funding for the society. Right? The motives for joining the society were vast, as a range of people from abolitionists to slaveholders counted themselves members. On the other hand, many abolitionists, both black and white, ultimately rejected the notion that it was impossible for the races to integrate, and therefore did not support the idea of an African American colony in Africa. Now it says that it didn't support the integration of the two races, but how is it a different race if these supposed to be Africans from America? Make it make sense. You can't be no African from America and then be a different race for the Africans in Africa. Come on now. It's because they playing. They know that these were Americans born, raised from America, never touched the modern continent known as Africa. All right? Peace, Brother Barnesville.
Islam. Praise be to Allah. You know, I really like the Spanish translation of Bereshit. I'm talking about Sister K. I don't know if you are aware of the Spanish translation of Bereshit, verse 1, chapter 1, Genesis. But it tells us a lot about the so-called Africans. Islam.
Islam, what it say?
I'm about to pull it up in 1 second. Are the Moors still able to hear me? Is the world able to hear me?
We can hear you.
Because all this, I'm here. I was just making sure y'all was able to hear me.
Yeah, we can hear
It says, "En el principio creó Dios los cielos y la tierra." Islam. En el principio creó Dios los cielos y la tierra.
So
In el principio, in the beginning.
In the principle, which is the
That's
beginning.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Creos Dios. That's
Creos.
created. Dios, God created.
Mm-hmm.
Los cielos, the heavens.
Mm-hmm.
Y la terra, and the earth.
Mm-hmm. The land. Your terra. Mm-hmm.
And if we look up etymology of the word Africa, what do we find, Sister K?
Terra.
Islam.
Terra.
I yield.
Islam. Yeah. You know that's our. When you look at Spanish, or you look at modern day Spanish, the old Spanish is where you get all of these other languages out of. Like we have. You're gonna all right. You have the different languages, like ancient Hebrew, Moabite, Canaanite, the Phoenician languages, right? You have, Old Latin, right? All of these are part of the ancient Spanish phonetics. So when you look at modern day Spanish, you'll see that, like even Arabic, you'll see that there are cousins to all these languages are cousins to Spanish, even the Algonquian language. Right. The world class says Genesis 1 is a proclamation. Exactly. It's a proclamation.
Ooh, teach, brother.
You know what's so funny about that? It's not only is it a proclamation, but you know how a lot of times people say, well, you know, King James, he was wicked because he gave us, you know, his version of the Bible. But nah, he wasn't wicked. That was King James version of his Bible because that's his family Bible. If you ain't a part of his family, why you in his family business? If you ain't a part of his family, why you in his family business? Because his Bible is family records. Right? That's his family records. Just like we're all supposed to have our own family's Bible. Most of our grandmothers and great grandmothers would have the family Bible where you would write down and jot down all the births of all the families, the births, the deaths, when such and such graduated from school, you know, all the marriages. Right? You have all the major events.
Islam, almost right. Where it reads in the Quran, you'll be judged by your book.
Right.
That book. Yeah, they got us thinking this is one of the books from the Prophet and not our life.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Teach.
That's what it's always been about. That's how simple it is. It's always been about your book. It's always been about your life, right? King James, he wrote down and he jotted down his family records. But for some reason, everybody want to keep holding on to his family records and not their own. So not only is that King James family records for in his family's Bible, but if you open up the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? So when Prophet Noble Drew Ali came on the scene,
he tied us back to our families of the nation, the Asiatic nations. Oh, you was gonna say that, and I just took it from you, Empress. Okay.
You know, you ain't taking that from me. You just adding on.
Islam.
That's right.
You saying what your brothers and everybody is saying in the chat to you? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and in the Quran, right? In the beginning it says, and this is how Prophet Noble Drew Ali tied us back into the family Bible. Family Bible. King James Bible. Look, y'all, you think King James was able to really come over here and set up colonies and like do any of this just because he was King James? You can't just come on somebody's property, somebody's land, and do whatever you want to do.
Fact. Shout out to the Moors who are sharing it. I just seen Brother Elwood Evansville. He's sharing the live that we're on YouTube right now.
Peace, Brother Elwood Evansville. Gratitude. Thank you for sharing. You can't just come on somebody's land and set up. Like he didn't just come on somebody's land and just say, okay, you know, I'm just gonna live here. No, he came on a lot of land.
Come on now, wake us up.
Pretty much.
Old man Kush. Old man Kush was trying to come home.
Right.
The
The whole Eastern Seaboard, right? That he came up on, and he set up industry. Ain't nobody just doing that.
That's right.
You can't just go on somebody's land and set up shop. Come on now, you can't do that still. You can't do that in the hood today. You can't just get up on nobody's block and set up shop. You know.
Let me just say I'm gonna go to Baltimore and I'm gonna go open up shop today.
No.
Those thugs gonna get you up out of there. Anywhere you go, Ohio, I don't care where you go. You come to Carbondale. Well, no, we might say it. But usually, anywhere you go, people gonna cover their toe. Straight like that. We don't want no new laws. We got our laws. We already set up, buddy, what you need.
Yeah, you're not doing that. You're a foreigner. And you doing what?
Facts.
No. And you
Look at our Islam in America and look at the Islam outside of America.
The customs is different.
That's right.
It's different. You know, like I was saying yesterday.
We are different.
Respect to their hadiths, but their hadiths, a lot of it is contrary to our society. Like, we don't live like that. You know, it's cool for them to eat on the floor.
This is true.
You and your go in your mother's house and start eating on the floor and see what happened to you. And you,
boy, if you don't get up somewhere, go sit on the table or something, boy.
You a grown adult. You a grown. You never be able to pull that off in your parents' home. Eating on the floor. Come on now. Certain stuff that we never did, we don't do. Yeah, we don't do that. It's certain stuff we don't do. Yeah, they talk about killing your ego and humble. Yeah, I'm humble. So I can't be humble at the table. Like, I can't be humble with a fork, a spoon, and a knife. I can only be humble with my fingers. Don't you understand how filthy your fingers are? Like the bacteria that you don't see. And you using your fingers and your hands. And do y'all see those videos of them, the street food? Those videos over there of the street food? Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Ah, man. I think I get the bubble guts. Just watch the videos. Oh, my goodness. Those street food vendors. Savage. Straight savage. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that street food is savage. But in the Holy Quran it says, listen to this, Barzell. Know thyself and thy Father God Allah. The genealogy of Jesus, with 18 years of the events, life, works, and teaching in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are for all those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones, that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set up your household in order and your children will learn to love instead of hate. The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale, but for the sake of humanity. As I am a prophet, and the servant is worthy of his hire. You can receive this pamphlet at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. And for the first time in ages, have the secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing of this pamphlet of 1927 by the Prophet Noah Ali. The industrious acts of the Muslims of Northwest and Southwest Africa. These are the Moabites, Hammatites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land of Canaan by Joshua and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, they formed themselves kingdoms. These kingdoms are called this day Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, etc. Right? So these are the 18 years. The 18 years of the events, life and works and teachings of Jesus in India, Europe, and Africa. All right, these are the lessons that wasn't in the Bible. Right? When we further go down to after chapter 19, you have the epilogue, right? In the epilogue, it says, these events occurred before he was 30 years of age. And the events after he had risen from the dead, he appeared back to India, Europe, and Africa, in the land of Egypt, and made himself known unto the world. These events are the 18 years which are absent in your Holy Bible. These events are the 18 years that are absent in your Holy Bible, right? So if this Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America is talking about the 18 missing years of the Holy Bible, that means that these events that's in here is also what was taken out. This is still a part of King James Version, his family records.
Ooh-wee.
This is still his family records that was taken out. And his family records, Prophet Noah Ali reminded us and woke us up that he's still a part of the family of nations over here.
That's right.
Because America being the first out of the water after the great deluge.
Come on now, make it plain to us.
If America is first, then how can modern day Africa? So we look at this map. Always go back to this map. If we look at this map, so it's mapped from 1489 to 1552, right? They say that Christopher came over here in 1492. So the time that Christopher came over here, today what they call Africa is not even Africa.
That's right.
Right? This part right
I
here.
guarantee you this map that you have here, if you used to get an up-to-date map, it wouldn't be nothing like this map.
It's nothing like this. And the crazy part about this is Princeton University put this up. It's in the library of Princeton University.
This is how they lie to us, y'all. They change everything. That's why Noble Drew Ali was teaching us, get the pen in your hand and you change things. Rewrite history.
That's right.
And for those, what she was just sharing about that Holy Quran that Noble Drew Ali gave us, he gave that from our ancient forefathers. He never said that he was the author of it. And he first gave it to his adepts and officers in the movement. Then the members wanted something, so he gave it to us all. But when you use it the right way, it's definitely coded to break codes. Islam.
It's your family records.
That's right. And World Class is sharing this with us right now as well. Word on the street.
Shout out to World Class. This is family records. You know how many of us that can trace ourselves back and show that we got some connection to King James the First. You know how he was tying himself back in with his King James Version Bible. And the 18 missing years that was taken out of the Bible by the haters. 18 missing years that was taken out by the haters. Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave it back to us. So when you tie yourself back into the family of nations, you got a record. You got a family Bible. That's why the Holy Quran of the Moorish Symbol of America is more than just a pamphlet that you just read and you recite, and then you come up with an explanation of what you feel and what you think about the chapters and the verses. It actually ties you back to the land. Here. Because we were taken up out of the land. The very beginning of it says the genealogy. Before it gets into any chapters, any verses.
That's right.
The first word after know thyself.
Know thyself now. That's key right there.
Exactly.
That's the key. He wasn't talking about no Noble Drew Ali. He said know thyself.
Exactly.
What did your great-great-grandma tell you?
Come on now. Islam. The genealogy. The genealogy. When you look at the King James Version Bible, it starts with a proclamation of the genealogy. Didn't tell you about the generations. These are the generations. This is all in the very beginning of Genesis. These were the generations. So Yeah, the genealogy.
That's right.
I know we've been asleep for a long time, but it's been past time for us to wake up. See, because Africa
Not
was
spitting
real.
in the cup to know
real
your genealogy. What grandma tell you.
No.
Don't spit in no cup and think they gonna tell you, and then you can say you know yourself. No, no, no.
No. Mm-mm.
You're getting caught up in falsehood.
That spit in the cup is fake. I'm gonna tell you how I know it's fake. What?
Uh-oh.
Like 10 years ago, baby, we took ours. 11 years ago
That's
now.
right. That's right.
11 years ago, we took ours. Right. I put on there that we was from Morocco. Listen.
Listen to this, y'all.
Listen. I put on there that we was from Morocco. And the results came back like, yeah, definitely you had fourth and fifth generations. You definitely have fourth and fifth generations from East Africa. One of your
Wow.
so they saying that we from East Africa. So a couple months ago, I took mine off of Morocco,
And what you do?
I put where I'm really from, is New York. Why my results changed? Now my grandparents ain't even they ain't even East African no more.
What are they?
West African now.
So it got you from East Africa, which is very far from West Africa.
They
Wow.
West African now.
So now you can go claim the people all over in West Africa. Say, yeah, you my people.
Man,
and be lying to yourself and lying to them.
The stuff is not real. I'm gonna tell you what they do. They look at, cause see, you got to think about it. Pretty much everybody is on social media. So even if you're giving your real name and your real name is you don't have your real name on social media, you're still on social media, so everybody knows your real name. They know who you really are. They know your real name. They ain't gotta go and ask nobody your real name. They got a profile on all of us. They know your real name. So as soon as you send in that spit kit, you got your real name on there, and I already know who your family members are that already took the test. So it's easy for them to, because they already got the records. The Mormon Church had the genealogy records. They're all working together. I don't care what name is on the spit kit. They are working together. So they got your real name. They already know what you look like, because you got your picture, you got your videos, you got your family on social media. They already know where you staying, where you from. They already got all of our information. So the first thing they're doing is they looking at all your stuff. They're gonna send you results telling you that you're from West Africa. And then what's crazy about it is they say you from like 3 or 4 different countries in West Africa. No good and well, these countries been at war with each other since time immemorial. Stop playing. You know good and well that these tribes been fighting with each other since forever. How you all mix with all that? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because we ain't doing none of that. Yeah, that's wild. That's real wild. Peace to perfect square Islam.
Islam, perfect square, huh? That's got to be a Moorish American Muslim.
Oh yeah,
Islam.
Peace to Quantum Love. It's back.
That's Brother Namir.
Yeah, I know who Perfect Square is. Brother Namir. Peace to Red Lipstick Vibes. Peace to Lady Nevaeh. Yeah, so this is really what Africa looked like during the time that Columbus would have actually came here. So no, there was no African or this whole African slave thing. I did a bill 2 weeks ago on the size of the ships, right? The size of the ships. So here you go. You got the American Colonization Society that created Liberia, because the brother, he did say that his father was Liberian. So if your father is Liberian, Liberia was created in 1847. You know good well wasn't no African slaves coming over here in no 1847. You know that's not real. How do we know that? Let's look into it. We know that the slave trade from anybody coming over here, I don't care where you was from, anybody coming over here, you know you couldn't get that off after 1808. Says the slave trade at the Constitutional Convention in 1787, delegates fiercely debated the issue of slavery. They ultimately agreed that the United States will potentially cease importation of slaves in 1808. So what Africans, Kemet, come on, Kemet speaks. What African slaves came over here from Liberia? Come on now. Make it make sense.
Make it add up.
Until 1847.
Make it add up.
The importation of slaves into the United States ended in 1808. We're talking about almost a 30-year difference. Make it make sense. Come on now. It said an act of Congress passed in 1800 made it illegal for Americans to engage in the slave trade between nations, and gave U.S. authorities the right to seize slave ships which were caught transporting slaves and confiscate their cargo. The act prohibiting the importation of slaves took effect in 1808. However, a domestic or coastwise, meaning the intra-American slave trade that had been going on, a coastwise trade in slaves persisted between ports within the United States, as demonstrated by slave manifests and court records. But everybody keeps talking about, well, you know, we can't find no slave ship. Well, you know, we can't. They destroyed all the records. Are you for real? They destroyed all the records? They destroyed all the records? Make it make sense. How you gonna be able to destroy all of the ship manifests? Don't you understand that they gotta keep these manifests because that somebody can come back many years, and file insurance claim against the ships? Don't you understand that fraud has no statute of limitations on it? You're talking about cargo ships that's exporting and importing cargo.
But one question again, back to these ships. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody in the chat? Anybody can share with us information on a slave ship? Why can't we find one slave ship? Just one.
I want him to show. I want him to show us.
Oh, you want the brother Kemet Speaks?
I want Kemet Speaks to come and show. Because see, Kemet Speaks is the one who called me a crackhead said I was smoking crack
But look,
because
Empress,
I said there was no, because ships was not created for slaves. Ships was
Empress.
created for transportation and trade.
That's how they speak on Clubhouse, TikTok. I'm seeing people who have been to college just because they've been to a 4-year university saying that we hate ourselves or we're ignorant, we're retarded, everything evil just because we're asking for the slave ships.
It's crazy.
We're asking for receipts.
That's
If
crazy.
they have proven to us that they've been lying to us about our history, we need receipts to back this up. Because we're pulling out receipts, old books about old America. And it's showing us in there, classified as everything under the sun, like Noble Drew Ali said in his literature. We not crazy. We see that they're playing tricks on the minds of the people. Wake up.
Ben playing tricks. Ben playing tricks. Shout out to Magistrate Sophia said, open the sky and dump out those galactic records. Oh, man.
But you know, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that the Moors that come in with their eyes wide open. Every time I hear these brothers, I don't care if it's Cuddy, Top Cat, whoever it is, all of them be speaking what Noble Drew Ali shared with us in brief. Remember, he said what he did in his past few years before he left us.
Man.
He shared a major number with us. Now we have other brothers who are pulling out the books. Let's read it.
Right.
Let's read it. And that's something that's been missing from the Moor Science Temple of America all my life. They have the books, but they don't open them up. They're not reading them.
Right.
They got them in their homes. They're not reading them. It's got a lot of dust on them. Islam. So we give honors to all those who might, I don't care what they call themselves, they're working to be free, and they're teaching that we are at home, and they're teaching we don't have to do anything but recognize who we are and what we are.
Facts.
That's major.
Yeah, that's major. So it says here, the American Colonization Society, founded in 1816 to assist free black people in immigrating to Africa, was the brainchild of the Reverend Robert Finley. Y'all know, you gotta know the church. You gotta know that this is church business. There's always been church business. Them coming over here was church business. Them leaving and going to set up Africa is church business. Said was the brainchild of Reverend Robert Finley, a Presbyterian minister from Baskin Ridge, New Jersey. Finley believed that blacks would never be fully integrated into American society and that they will only be able to fulfill their potential as human beings in Africa, the land of their fathers. He saw colonization as a charitable work, one that would benefit American blacks and Africans alike through the spreading of Christianity to Africa. He also thought it would prompt a gradual end to slavery. Slavery was already ended, according to the end of the deportation of slaves in the United States in 1808. He 8 years behind because it was already over. So what slavery is he talking about? What slavery was he talking about? We're going to get there. Said, in keeping with the popular thought of the day, Finley saw the presence of blacks in America as a threat to the national well-being and the quality of life for whites. Come on now. Here it is, 1816. Y'all know 1830. Carter G. Woodson put the drop down on us to let us know that, yeah, we was the ones owning all the slaves. South Carolina had the majority of slaves out of any of the states, and we was the owners. We owned all the plantations. We own all the slaves because we are the only Americans, the true Americans. Everybody else came here. We was born here. We were autochthonous, meaning that we sprang forth from the land. We never been from anywhere else. This has always been home. So it says, he said the free blacks were unfavorable to our industry and morals, and that removing them would save Americans from difficulties such as interracial marriage and having to provide for poor blacks. See, what was going on was this thing where a lot of our brothers and sisters was having children with these pale-skinned Europeans. I'm gonna keep it a whole buck. So no, the slave master, the story of the slave master, raping your grandmother, that's not real. That's fabricated. That's another Hollywood story. No, ain't no slave master. How is the slave? Your slave master was your great grandfather. So he the one that's raping your grandmother? He the one who raped Granny?
That's the Me Too movement.
Come on now. So he the one who is raping Granny and having these mixed babies. No, that's not what's going on. That's not what's going on at all. See, the ones that was free, the newly freed, so-called free blacks, those were the ones that were mixed. Those are the ones who were freed, right? Because they could only be free. Their fathers were manumitting them. You can only be manumitted by your father. Your mother was the slave, because see, slave means the word slave means Slav. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. Slave means Slav. Let's go back to it. Let's go to the etymology.
Amen.
Etymology is slave. But see, we ain't never making nothing up. Right? We always gonna make sure that we right and exact. So here we go. The 1300, esclave, person who is the chattel property of another, from Old English esclave and directly from medieval sclavus, slave. Originally means from the very beginning. Originally Slav. So we're not making any of this up. The Slav is the only slave. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with him, said that they were the grafted kind. Said Yaqub was the one who created them. Now, this is not a fake made up story. So if Yaqub created them, that means they had to be from Yaqubatan. Right? The Yucatan. When you look at the walls of Chichen Itza down there in Mexico, you'll see you see on the walls where there was actually pale skins who tried to uprise against us, and we was cutting off the heads. I'm not making any of this up. This is actual world history. The world knows this. It's just us, because we've been spoon-fed this fake Hollywood version of history. Shout out to the Federal Writers Program during the Great Depression. Y'all did your thing. Y'all updated all the books. You got rid of the other books that you didn't want us to see and have possession of. But y'all did your thing on history. Y'all did the whitewashing and everything. Big up to the Zora Neale Hurston. Yeah, she was one of the ones that was a part of the Federal Writers Program. And what's so crazy is she was the one who came up with the fake story, because she stole it, the fake story of the Catilda. The fake Catilda that came and stole all these Africans. This is the last voyage. And they went up and set up Africa Town. Come on, y'all. Are we really still falling for the okie doke?
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. Right, so here we go. Let's get back to the American Colonization Society. It said in December 1860, Finley traveled to Washington, D.C. There he won the immediate support of his brother-in-law, Elias B. Caldwell, clerk of the Supreme Court, and Caldwell's friend, Francis Scott Key, author of the Star-Spangled Banner, both of whom had a reputation for being friendly of Washington's free blacks. Washington's free blacks. The three canvassed for support on December 21st, 1816, called an organizational meeting for the society that included some of the most powerful and influential men in the country. That was us. We the only ones with the power. There's no other beings in all of America with power other than us. You already know the pale-skinned Europeans definitely ain't had no power. They was the Slavs. I'm gonna show you that too. Yeah, they was the Slavs. Right, it was the Slavs. Here we go. This is the white cargo. White cargo. See, I ain't making none of this up. The forgotten history of Britain's white slaves in America. In the 17th and 18th centuries, more than 300,000 white people were shipped to America as slaves. Urchins were swept up from London streets to labor in the tobacco fields, where life expectancy was no more than 2 years. This is the reason why the brothers was having children with the pale-skinned European woman, because the slaves were only living for about 2 years. So they needed our DNA in order to be able to have a longer life. But the problem was, as they're growing up in society, right? They're coming up in society and they can't own land. You know why you can't own land? Because your mother is a slave. So you can never be a landowner.
Exactly.
You can only be free. But you can't own no land here. That's what the fight has always been about. The fight has always been about wanting to own the land. See, you can lease the land. We can give you land grant all day. Oh, you want a deed? Oh, we can deed that to you too. But you can never own our land. See, you gotta be sprung from the land in order to own it. You can't just come and take somebody. You come and take somebody's land, and you serious? Them is fighting words.
Yeah, absolutely. Smacking your mouth.
Come on now. You see how we was acting after we watched Roots and went to school the next day? And that wasn't even real. That was a fake story. It said brothels were rated to provide breeders for Virginia. These were the real breeding farms. See, yeah, they don't want to never tell us about the real breeding farms. This is the reason why you can never find these. Like, man, where's the breeding farms? Where's the information about the breeding farms? You'll never find any information about these breeding farms because they ain't gonna tell you. They'll never tell us. They'll never tell us. They'll never tell us. Yeah, so here we go. Hopeful migrants were dumped into signing as indentured servants. This is us. The migrants, these were the original Europeans, the ones that look like us, right? The other family members that came over here on indentures. So they actually had to sign an oath to the crown in order to come over here. And then they were freed after 7 years from doing their indentured work. Sometimes they would do 14 years. They wanted to double up. But no. You know how they taught us in school that the pale-skinned Europeans were the ones that were the indentured slaves? No. Nah, fam. They was not. They definitely wasn't the indentured slaves. They're unaware they would become personal property who could be bought, sold, and even gambled away. Transported convicts were paraded for sale like livestock. Like livestock. Like livestock. That's crazy. Yeah. These are the real slaves, the only slaves, the Slavs. Look how quick they was able to come up with this American colonization society. Like I ain't never seen no society come up this quick.
Never left.
And look, he was founded in 1816. He went to go talk to his brother-in-law and got immediate support. Said they called a meeting December 21st, 1816. Said in a series of meetings over the next few days, the group adopted a constitution, chose officers, and decided to call themselves the American Society for Colonizing the Free People of Color in the United States. You see how quick that was?
Shit.
That was fast. That was real fast. So here you go. You got the American Colonization Society. and you have all of these different states that's creating their version of it to be able to set up Liberia. There you go. You got the Constitution and laws of Maryland and Liberia. But Maryland wasn't the only one. Maryland was not the only one to do it. You had others who did it as well. Look, matter of fact, look at the flag for Liberia. Now, Kemet Speaks said that his father was Liberian. After he called me a crackhead, he said that his father was Liberian. Well, here go your Liberian flag.
That's great. Like Texas flag.
Hey, don't that look familiar?
Mm-hmm.
That look real familiar.
It's an African country having a Latin name for me.
It looked real familiar. And so you didn't just have Maryland, right? So here's a map. You had Maryland, Louisiana, Mississippi,
Make it bigger.
Pennsylvania.
Make it a little bigger.
You had Georgia. I got you. I won't let me make it any bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the colonies in Liberia.
Maryland and Liberia as well.
Right.
Republic of Maryland. State of Maryland.
Oh, crackhead, where he at? Where he at?
Right. That part.
He called y'all crackheads and run. He threw a rock and hide in his hand.
Right.
I got his hand on another man.
He probably going to the bar or somebody. Hey, what do I do?
Okay, we got Brother Barnzell on the stage. Magi Sufiel on the stage.
Okay.
Islam.
Yeah, Kemet Speak. He shouldn't speak any longer.
Sufiel, do you know that brother?
Oh, Islam. No nobles. No more. I was just texting. I was just posting. Let me see, because I can't see while I'm posting. I had posted. He said he threw the rock and hit his hand.
That's right.
Oh, that's
and he did it to our professional sisters. These ain't no bust down Julie Browns. He did it to our doctor and my wife, my empress. He called him straight crackhead.
Right.
When they call you a crackhead, that's the hood way of saying I don't checkmate.
I figured it was an East Coast thing because everybody from the East Coast been really highly upset.
You know how many times I've been called
brother
crackhead in the last 3 years?
When you heard it, everybody's upset about it.
Yeah, I'm mad. I've never been called a crackhead a day in my life. Like
listen,
that's so disrespectful. I said a crackhead, fam. That's the only thing you can come up with. A crackhead.
That's a clue. Let me see. Can I chime in for a moment, so to speak?
Go ahead.
All right, Islam Moors. I just like to say, because I've seen this coming for 10 solar years, and it's good that it's finally here, because see, when we were coming up in Moorish science, we were always told, that the Moors are the custodians of the ancient Egyptian mysteries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we knew that it was going to be a lot of enviousness, and I'll say envious than jealousy, more enviousness, and lower self behavior and anger, because the fact that when the Egyptologists and chematologists found out that no matter how much they study matter, they got to come to the man with the turban, the woman with the turban. They got to come to that Fed to get the jewels out of that metal netter, no matter what you think. You can study that all day and night. And still, what I'm gonna tell you about Kemet is gonna blow any chematologist's heads wide open. So we knew in the Sixth Church in Philadelphia, we knew that these Kemet folks is gonna be up in arms, and they have been, and they have their own ego to deal with because we were those angels of Allah that said we're going to keep continuing our education and we're not going to be egotistical. We're going to continue to learn every day, like the Holy Quran, Mecca would say in English, you learn even unto China. You see? So when we found new information, we checked it and we were never under the auspices of saying, if we didn't understand what Prophet Drew Ali said, we just said we ain't ready to understand that yet. Willfully, one day we'll understand it. We didn't say he was wrong. See, these people are mad because the Moors, no matter what, the word Moor etymologically is a word that means a Kemet priest. So when Kemet, so-called Kemet, when the Hyksos dynasties and these mixed breeds came into so-called Kemet in North so-called Africa, yes, everybody leaving there, the high priests went to every part of the world. The high priests, each one of them are called Moor. That's the word for a high priest. So as a man with a fez on taking a scroll to this part of the planet, they all ran to a part of the planet. And so, of course, the man with the fez in a modern time, the system perturbed, that's who's going to have the keys to Tahuti. You can't no Egyptologist talk to Tahuti like I can talk to Tahuti because they are dealing with stagnant stuff that we learned and mastered in the 80s.
Right.
So, okay, it's like talking to a Hebrew Israelite. And I was standing on the corner. I'm going, they don't know. We scientists, more scientists, we in the background going, bro, we already agree with 90% what you saying. All that baby food you talking, you ain't saying nothing. When you gonna stop talking and ask us something? Because you saying you're mighty angry about that baby food.
It's but what's crazy about what you're saying is like literally everywhere I go, it's literally exactly what you just explained. I just be sitting in the back of these spaces, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's in real life, whether it's on social media, knowing that people just have no idea what they're talking about. Because what you just said in the beginning is that at the end of the day, they got to come to us. And I literally see Sister K know this. I always tell people like, you can do all you want. Y'all gonna have to go through me anyway. I don't gotta. Y'all gotta come to me no matter what.
They said Dr. Nuba Drew Ali was the ancient Egyptian adept.
I'm telling people that.
So you ain't gonna get it no hotter than that. You ain't, because that hand press of unity is the left hemisphere of the brain meeting the right hemisphere. That's the Eastern teaching meeting the Western action. That's Eastern meditation meeting Western action. That's a whole outcome. That's a perfection near the handprint. So they only got one side of the hemisphere, and it ain't gonna never be able to work that way. You're gonna have to, because East and West are relative. Eastern used to be in Moab, Utah. That's why the Moabites. So East and West is relative to where you put the prime meridian. So only North and South are the true direction. So they thinking that Eastern stuff, no, you got to have the whole 36720, and only the Prophet Drew Ali was coming with that. So no matter what they think, what I'm saying about Tahuti is going to far surpass anything. What we're going to say about Yahweh and what we're going to say about the Elohim is going to far surpass any Hebrew Israelite. So we're always bored in the background going, yay, brothers, we agree with you, but can you listen to us now?
Yeah, bro, for like 7, 8 years, I've been telling people, I'm like, listen, y'all need to stay away from polite. I really need to stay away from polite because we done seen where the paperwork and crap that he was doing. I know who he stole the information from. Brother True Freeman. Now. I mean, well, I was calling him out, but Brother True Freeman. I told everybody that. Kept telling people that. But I ain't never want to be, on YouTube and famous and all, whatever, out in the public like everybody else was, doing dumb debates that didn't matter no way. But like, you can keep playing the goofy games, but they are real world-class scholars, not only around the world, but definitely in our community. And somebody's going to figure you out. You're going to get exposed. And I think the thing that people don't appreciate about our culture, the Morse community, is that we really ain't into the exposing everybody game. We really haven't been. I mean, it's a few dudes that do that, but that's really not our thing. We really about doing what makes sense.
Well, let me say something about that too, brother. We sued polite. We have our own court system. So the Sharif here in Philadelphia district sued polite in open court 2 years ago, and we sued him. Everybody, all these conscious people say y'all doing the most. You're coming at the wrong person. All this, but guess who was on the line watching the live that was cheering us on? Regular Romans, the Romans. The police. Listen, I'm saying they said we was out of pocket because we sued. We charged him for 27,000. At the end of the day, he got found guilty of 27,000 notes, U.S. currency, guilty. Young Pharaoh, over 20,000 notes, U.S. currency. When we charged him, and I found him guilty at that trial, Young Pharaoh the next day deleted the whole account associated with that Malcolm X revenge. Polite right after that, he went back to trying to be serious because he tried to act like he was serious. He joke all the time, but we sued him in court. Hold on,
You said Young Pharaoh did what with Malcolm X?
Young Pharaoh had a tape called Malcolm X Revenge, and so he slandered dear Holy Apostle Elijah Muhammad. So we sued him. He got sued in our court, and I heard the case under special circumstances because he's an ancestor and could not be here to defend himself. And he got found that it was a good case, even though the plaintiff wasn't available. He's an ancestor. We said that was a good case because Polite is not bringing nothing that dear Holy Apostle Elijah didn't talk about. He ain't saying nothing new that nobody has said. He ain't got no new science. So we said that you made all your money off of talking what Elijah said, and then you slandered him. So this is so-called America. We don't care if you disagree with another brother. We're open for that. If you got facts, we hear it. Okay, you don't like them, and you don't agree with the prophet. Let's hear what you got. Now, if everything in your mouth is coming with drop.
You was breaking up at the Asiatics. Oh yeah.
With the prophet knows you got all these stuff, and you're defending him.
You breaking up. You probably need
break
to
your last
go
10
out
seconds
and
of
then
what you
come
said.
back in.
No, somebody ignorant just tried to call me on a messenger.
Oh, okay.
Let me erase that messenger. Boo, bye. So we call Brooklyn Corporation, or what they call Kings County Corporation, up in the Babylon district, and sure enough, when they looked our court up, they was like, Magistrate L, we will accept your court order for 40 notes. Mm-hmm. So I told Polite and them, for 40 notes, I'm going to put it on the court record in so-called Brooklyn and L.A. County, and our court order is going to chase you, and we're going to make the sheriff of L.A. come knock you up. It's because we're real court, and other courts said foreign judgment enforcement is on $50, 40 notes.
They have no idea how. They have no idea.
We got to start charging these people. The Moors ain't talk about what we're doing in Philadelphia. They don't want to talk about what I'm doing. Arnell Chick knows. Arnell Bay, he knows. We charge Polite. And so then after that, 3 months later, the Albions finally cracked that nut and they charged him. And before we charged him, everybody thought it was hands off Assata Shakur. Ain't no hands off Assata. This dude is talking that son, Young Pharaoh. We're chasing them all through the galaxy. Judge Dredd Bay, all of the Dredd Bay. Listen, get your training because we are of that ilk. So most of the Moors ain't gonna chase them around and expose them. We here for the swashbuckle, and we have a legally binding court, and it's coming out of Chapter 29, magistrate and subject is religiously acceptable by the First Amendment. This is how we open up court. They acted like it wasn't possible by the temple jurisdiction, but those sheets were lazy. So we came and we did that in 2013 CE, and we've been so that's what it has to be. Those people. So that's just on the note of that polite. These other people, when they talk about you a crackhead, it just means you checkmate. That's it. You did the job, and they call you a crackhead.
I wish she'd come up. I wish, I really do wish she was self here. Somebody check his social media, see if he still exists.
Y'all, we have to prosecute these people.
I think he don't want no smoke at all.
See if his social media got a U-Haul on it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
None of the smoke.
Islam, I think he's seen that he messed with the wrong two sisters. I think he ran up on somebody. Probably told him, "Hold on, those are sheikesses in the temple." Yeah, you ever seen that brother before, Sufiel or Brother Jones Hill? He was probably sent. Then they probably told him, "Nah, back down from them. Those some big ones. Those no babies."
Yeah,
I never seen him on Side Channel. I never seen him anywhere. Who is he?
Zesty Hotep.
Is he the dope thing?
Yo, I gotta get a T-shirt. That's a hashtag.
Where's Jones Hill at? Jones Hill, you know this, Mo?
Zesty.
Our Kemetic brother.
Oh, he ain't. He muted. I don't know if he's still there.
If you were speaking, Empress, we couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jones Hill was saying about Zora Neale Hurston and the Federal Writers Project.
Yes.
She was definitely a part of the Federal Writers Project, right? This is a library in New York, right? Zora Neale Hurston and the Depression Era Federal Writers Project. In 1933, the U.S. government established the first of many New Deal projects and initiatives. 4 years later, in September 1937, Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston was published in New York. The connection between the two, while many readers know of the novel's seminal status, it has been one of the most lauded and banned books of its time, and its foundation in Hurston's early research into African American culture and folklore. Some might be unaware that from 1935 to 1937, Hurston was employed by the U.S. government as a chronicler of life histories in the state of Florida as the part of a back-to-work project for intellectuals and artists, the Federal Writers Project. Yeah, she like many of those of our kind was working for them people. Oh, yeah, she was a part of it. She was a part of it. Yeah, she was a part of it. She was a part of it, and not only was she a part of it, but Carter G. Woodson actually called her out for plagiarizing that story of Clotilda. Carter G. Woodson was one of the only real ones. Well, when I look at Carter G. Woodson and what he did, he was really one of the only real ones. He put it out in 1830 that we was the real slave owners. And again, like I said, South Carolina had the most slaves. And we was the real slave owners. We owned all the plantations. Want no pale skinned Europeans over here owning nothing. They didn't start. Look, it wasn't until the early 1900s when they really got it to really start popping off of them. Prior to that, owning anything Nothing. No, not they wasn't on. They wasn't even even. You know how they say, well, the KKK was doing this and KKK. Look, they wasn't even the KKK. They was the White League. I'm gonna say it again. They wasn't even the KKK. They was the White League.
Teach that lesson with they Quran.
Right. Where they get that science from? They was the White League. They wanted the KKK. The KKK came from the first time that you ever heard the Native Americans. I'm not talking about the American Indians, because Native Americans will tell you it's disrespectful to call them an Indian, right? Because they ain't never been no Indians. So over here was India Superior, and they definitely ain't from here. India Superior.
Manglia.
So yeah, they will tell you it's disrespect to call them Indians. Call them Native Americans. These are the Mongoloid Asian mix that came over here. So this is the first time that you ever heard the word Native American through the party called the Know Nothings. And the Know Nothings turned into the KKK. The Know Nothings were the admixture children who could not own land. These were the ones that were upset. Couldn't own anything. Forever will be a child of a mother who is a Slav. I don't care how many times your father manumitted you, you are forever a Slav. Forever a Slav. So when you look at, they really didn't get it popping off until like really the 1920s. So when you see Walter Plecker with the Racial Integrity Act in Virginia at the same exact day that he get the Racial Integrity Act passed, he get the act for what was it? The act for let me see. Because it wasn't just the Racial Integrity Act on the same day. We got another act approved. And you notice when they do everything, they do it strategically. It's not just, something that they're just coming up with and, they're just going to hurry up and no, They about this work. They going to get their work done. So it was the Racial Integrity Act, and you had the let's see, you pull it up here, the Eugenics Act. That's it, the Eugenics Act, the Eugenical Sterilization Act. Got it approved the same exact day. So if they couldn't get you on your nationality, this is how they were able to bind us. If they couldn't get us on nationality, then they can get us on saying that we were dumb, we were feeble-minded, and we needed the state to come in and control our trust, which is our lands.
Yes.
See, this thing is strategic. It wasn't something that, it was just overnight. No. No, they have been working on this for many, many years. They have vowed from generation to generation that they would never be Slavs again. that they would never be held back ever again in life. So you had, and shout out to Amadi Sufiel who came up. You had Zora Neale Hurston, who definitely was a part of the Federal Writers Project. She like many others that look like us, were ops. Yeah, she was op. So here we go with I want to pull up the transatlantic slave trade. Right, this is slavevoyages.org. This is a program through Rice University. And so here's the transatlantic slave trade. So when everybody's saying, well, I can't find any records. They got rid of all the records of the slave records, and we can't find any. So we asked them for we just want ship manifests. That's all we want. We just want ship manifests with your ancestors, of your ancestors being slaves on these ships. That's all. That's all we asking for. We're not asking for much, right? So there are ships from starting at 1514. So that's how far you can go back on slavevoyages.org. You can go all the way back to 1514. We just want one manifest of your ancestors coming over here as slaves on any of these ships. There is 36,079. Come on now. 79,000 ships. Come on now.
Damn.
And you can't, we can't find one record with not one of your ancestors. Not one of your ancestors. And so this is what many of them will say, right? Many of them will say things like, oh, well, we got the first-hand accounts. Listen, they say we have the first-hand accounts of the stories of our ancestors. You can go and you can look on it. It's right there on slavevoyages.org. So looking at that is what made me realize. I've been researching this for some time now, a couple years. And looking on this made me realize, hold on, I'm looking at all of these stories. And the stories that they're saying that they are slaves and so on and so forth, and how hard it is and how bad it is. When do we know slaves to be able to read and write? Say that again. When have we known slaves to be able to read and write? That's number one. Number two, all of these stories that they was coming with was coming from the 1800s after the importation, the ban on the importation in 1808, right, of slaves in America. Right? That's number two. Number three. If you go in here and you look at all of these 1800 ships in the 1800s, one thing that you're going to find about these ships are the type of the ship. The type of the ship, is a schooner or another version of some type of schooner ship, right? And a schooner ship are 2-mast ships. Right? They're 2-mast ships. And they can only hold about maybe 35 people at the most. And that would be like maximum capacity.
Shit. That's my bad. That's... Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Hold up. How many niggas? What's the picture of the boat where we had to tell me?
I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna pull it up. I promise
If
you.
we at the bottom of the boat that rock up and down.
I promise you I will pull it up.
How many
Yeah.
niggas?
This is it right here. This is your school, and this got what 1, 2, 3, several masts. This ain't even a regular. Like they didn't even start doing like 4-mast, 3-mast ships until like later.
That's a slave boat. That looks luxurious.
What? Hell no.
Oh man, it won't let me blow it up. It's hating on me. Won't let me blow it
That
up.
shit do look. It is real spiffy though.
Oh man, yeah. This is a schooner. This your slave ship now.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing.
How that many niggas gonna fit at the bottom?
How many people fit in it? Period. Okay, a schooner. So you got one side. Okay. One side is just for the captain. Another section of the ship is just for the crew. Another section of the ship is where the captain and the crew meet. The other section of the ship is the cargo. Where's all of these slaves fitting?
That's what I'm saying. If that's a slave ship, that demonstration is luxurious.
Well, they probably put them in like a little bottle and dragged them under the water.
No wonder they said they took so many
And then
people.
peep this. The first schooner that was created was here in Massachusetts in 1713. 1713. So before they had schooners, they had other several types of. Go back and watch my build that I did a couple weeks ago on these. I did a live on these slave ships, and I broke down each ship and the type and how many people could actually fit on the ship at one time. These ships were small. The other the craziest part about this whole slave ship thing is, okay, look, because I can't do this anymore. I am so tired of these people with this victim mentality, wanting to be a descendant of a slave. Like, you know how degrading that is? That is so degrading. But then on the other hand, you want to be, we descendants of kings and queens, and we were descendants of the pharaohs and all this.
Slave kings.
Like, hold on, ain't y'all from most of y'all from West Africa? Ain't no what pyramids and what great societies came out of West Africa?
Shit.
None. Not near one pyramid or great society came out of West Africa. The best thing West Africa ever had was what we put there, which was Liberia. All right? So, you see this map right here, and you see the Bermuda Triangle? You see the Bermuda Triangle right here?
Mm-hmm.
See this right? You see this right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See the Bermuda Triangle. Now I want you to look at what they say the transatlantic slave trade trails were. Right? Pull up this map. Look at this. Look at this.
That's crazy.
Look at this. Come on now. Look at this. Look at this.
They drove straight through it. So take that. That's what I'm getting from it. We went through it like y'all can't. Shit, I get it. I'm with him. I get it.
Look at this. How you go straight through the Bermuda Triangle and nobody else lived through it?
They just ain't hit the brakes. That's all. Just drove straight through it. That's all.
Oh.
Manifest destiny.
What God had for you, God had for you, man. Can't take it.
It was manifest destiny. That's what it was.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm. You know that's their doctrine.
That's a fact.
That's right.
When God wants you to do something now, you know what I'm saying?
Oh snap!
That was mine.
It ain't stopped Noah, did it?
The devil thought he had me, but God had for me.
Yeah, going straight through them all those currents with those luxury boats. Now, those luxury boats. I'm telling you, Morris, if that is the style of those slave ships, I think we got a comedy show on our hands. Islam, we got us one.
They had them.
And it's gonna be holy and righteous.
They had them GTA 5 boats.
Look,
with God model on.
it's just crazy. Like, how you driving through the Bermuda Triangle, fam? Like,
they ain't believe him. God did it.
how you say God did it? Shout out to brother Frederick Jones. It just came up on the panel. Say God did it. God did that. Yeah, God definitely did that.
See, they had see what it is, sister. They didn't have mechanical devices, sister. So the Bermuda Triangle really ain't messed them up, sister. See, what you really don't understand is the triple darkness of the black God. See, all those black women was on there, you know. She God. So what she did was she put her period blood on the oars when they was swinging, and then that allowed the dark magic.
Cause she God.
That's right.
Black woman is God. Oh
Free.
man.
So the Bermuda Triangle moved around because we triangulated from the depths of hell. The black woman is God.
Oh, this is magic. Crazy.
That is wild right there, though. I ain't gonna say that lie. I didn't even realize. I've never seen this before.
I know you ain't never seen it before. Cause I never seen it before until one day. Cause I told you I've been studying this whole. Cause I'm like, man, nobody is really looking at the ships itself. And so I started looking at the different stories of these so-called slaves that they wrote while they was on these, after they got awfully freed from these slave ships. And I'm like, when have slaves been able to read and write? I mean, they writing in cursive. Now, you know, the children, they don't know how to write in cursive, and they writing in cursive. And these are slaves.
Yeah. Who
don't know how to read and write. But they writing in cursive.
I mean, they went straight to the Bermuda Triangle, though. That shit crazy.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how they did it. God did it. Parson said God did it.
Islam. This is why I had to come home to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Because the Hebrew degree, it was not adding up. Man. Without the Moorish paradigm. I'm telling you. Without the Moorish paradigm, Hebrews, please leave it. Even if you got to see the Moorish Jews in Spain, go see them. Go see the Sephardim. But if you not coming like that, please, please, Hebrews, leave it. I yield.
Man, this was crazy to me.
See, this is the
I
fun.
looked at. I'm like, hold on, because I know that at one point in time, Bermuda was a part of South Carolina, and so I'm like, well, they say Charleston was the place where you had most of the ships going to Charleston, South Carolina. Out of any other port, Charleston received, according to them now, received the most slaves ever.
What? Oh, what you
Yeah.
mean? Receive?
Charleston,
Oh,
South
Charleston.
Carolina.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys. They got slaves. Gosh.
right. The Charleston of South Carolina received the most slaves than anywhere else. Remember, 1830,
Slavery,
the slave,
right?
what the book that Carter G. Woodson came out with, which was the database for what he termed the Negro slave owners of 1830. Charleston had the most slaves out of all the states. All right, and we were the only ones who owned the slaves. So most of our family, like for instance, I'll give you an example. My family is from St. Helena, South Carolina. And I remember growing up, I don't know how my older cousins started this, but they would say stuff like my grandmother was a slave. And I'm like, when I got older, I realized that slavery had already ended before my grandmother was even born. And I was like, that was ignorant. I don't know how my cousins came up with that. But yeah, they came up with that. Because my grandmother wasn't even born during, during the time of slavery.
Mm.
Now, when I started looking at the schedules on the 1830, and I found the name of the same plantation that my grandmother's house is still on today. Tell you, the plantation that my grandmother's house has been on, and she said that land was given to her from her parents.
Mm.
And her parents and my great grandparents gave that land over to, gave that over to her, so on and so forth. So I'm looking at it, my grandmother's land and all her children, they all got land. It's still on the same plantation. And the plantation owner was an Asiatic.
Not surprised.
So when I look at this whole thing about these slaves, on my mother's paternal side, her four times grandfather was one of the owners of Jekyll Island. In Georgia. How you an owner of Jekyll Island and you a slave? Not only did they own Jekyll Island, but they also owned one of the plantations down in Santo Domingo before it was Haiti.
Mm. He said big money.
So how you slaves? I mean, you going right into through the like you breaking barriers. You going through the Bermuda Triangle. You breaking barriers.
I mean, if you could fly through the Bermuda Triangle, you definitely go with some slaves after that. Like, this is
Look,
gods out here.
you know how many maps like this? All
They
of
done.
the transatlantic. Just think about it. All the transatlantic slave trade maps that you ever seen is like this. I guarantee you, after they start seeing this and everybody start going in on this fact right here, they're gonna change this. They're gonna change the maps. So y'all better go and start saving all of the transatlantic slave trade maps that they got, because they're gonna go and change the maps.
Yeah, y'all can think that they don't change shit after somebody exposes it on the internet, but they actually do. I've even seen Edamon online. The one I go through, I've seen them change shit after some scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
For the years I've been using it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they watch. They pay close attention.
Mm-hmm.
They will scoop this up. But here it is. This is on 2 channels, so it'll be saved. So I want to see what the hell they're gonna do with that, because that's crazy right there. Not straight through it. Not like yo. If you put the sea currents that's in the Atlantic Ocean,
Mm-hmm.
like I say ocean. Yeah, it's this doesn't make sense. This is not. This can't be a thing, because it doesn't. I don't even think the continents is lined up correctly. But that's another story. So there's a lot going on. And why does it have raindrops? Okay, I don't. Never mind. I'm good. It's a lot going on. It's like
This is what they do, and they've been playing this same move on us for a long time.
wait, is that Boston? Why is Florida so little? What's going on?
Right.
We don't.
And then you see how small they make North America look
Tiny.
compared to Africa. You know, good. Well, Africa ain't even that big.
It's like Canada, Africa, like North America, Canada. It's not even a Canada. It's no separation.
You see how big they got Europe looking? Europe ain't even. Come on now.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know. This is not right.
They've been playing these type of visual mind games on us.
Well, you know, I always say about the maps. I always thought it was affecting the shit upside down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It literally flipped the world upside down.
Yeah, this is crazy.
That's why the damn Bible don't make sense, because you're talking about the wrong landmass. That's another show.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I ain't even plan on doing nothing today, but when he called me a crackhead, I was like, nah, I cannot let that slide.
Oh, this
Old crackhead on the internet.
This fish-looking girl said I was ugly on IG.
Oh wow.
But that I didn't have pictures on IG, so I don't know how she said it was ugly. So it was a lot. There's a lot of people just trying a lot of stuff today.
Man, the energy.
Then she
energy on the day was serious.
Then you know what she did was, to prove to me that she wasn't out of shape. She shows a video of her in some drawers and a shirt. Claiming she had a nigga at the house, and she sent it to my inbox. So put it on her story. One of those two or both. And then I'm looking in the background. She don't have no furniture. She don't have no furniture, and it's dirty, and it's stuff on the floor. And I'm like, you need to. Your priorities is crazy. Like, you showing niggas your body on the internet for niggas that don't like you, and you don't got furniture.
Wow.
Because you mad that we on a post where it's a chick talking about soft parenting don't work, and then she yells at her child on the post, and you got in your feelings. So this is just like, today is the day to just be dumb and then try people you know you can.
Yeah, she must have been gone. She must have been hyped for the Sexy Red concert.
Yes. Yeah, she looks sexy reddish. That's what. that's what it was. So it's a lot going on.
that behavior is the most ignorant, lewd behavior that has ever hit the world. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
just like, wow.
it's too much. I thought I got like 5 years ago. I thought, yeah, this is the worst they could do. Nope.
No, no,
Nah,
not
they
at
just
all.
they just getting started.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, they definitely just getting started. Uh, that's crazy. That type of, and it's like she's getting praised for it. Just praised to be the most ignorant, the most lewd, the most ratchet, the loudest, just the most degraded being on the planet.
Yep.
Mm.
But yeah, protect them though. Protect them. Oh man, did you hear about the brick lady?
Mm.
Yeah, brick lady. That's all of it was fake.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, she was a Muslim, a Muslima.
man. Somalian chick talking
When
about
she
these niggas won't help me.
had to take her Muslim children to school, they need to get school supplies or something like that. Oh man, yeah, she had several GoFundMe. She remind me of somebody else who kept putting up GoFundMes for a Moorish village, and then would take it down after they get a certain amount of money and put up another one like it was a new, like it was a new endeavor.
Oh, this not the same thing. This is different. It's a Agape. We're talking about you because you speak.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I say that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yes, no.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but we about to get up out of here. Y'all, stay
Well,
woke.
you gave him a chance. I'm gonna get back to
Look,
editing.
man, he ain't gonna never. I don't think he gonna ever try that one again. Called me a crackhead because I'm trying to save us from not going into the Bermuda Triangle. Mm. He got some nerve.
It's like a beeline to it, dude. It's like niggas ain't even. It's just like, yeah, straight. Let's just drive straight on the ocean. That's not how that works.
This boy got some nerve.
Especially when y'all ain't had no motor back then. Like how
Man,
was
come
that
on,
going?
y'all. Go ahead and support the channel today. I wasn't even supposed to be going live. I had other plans, other work to do. And the Cash App is on the screen. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Anytime that I go live, you'll get the notifications. I'm not shadow banned yet, so your notifications will come through.
Y'all know I'm shadow banned. Anybody else on my channel, the link to to Moving Without Motions.
Yeah,
the channel that we streaming for is pinned
I'll
to the
put it
top of
down.
our chat. Please come over, subscribe, like. Y'all be in the space that I'm a part of. Y'all be complaining about intellectual conversations, and we have them. We'll see if y'all show up. It ain't a challenge, but I'm an insurance policy. You know what I'm saying? I want for a fact that you won't be able to say that God ain't send you somebody. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't tell you. I just want to take away the excuses. So if we want to win, we'll see. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is not only as an intellectual, it's cutting edge. It's at the creme de la creme. Is at the exact end of what people are going to finally come to the conclusion of 5-6 years from now. So can't say people ain't tell you. Can't say it's not being provided for. But the drama channels, yeah, they're going to have 70 niggas, 100 niggas, 1,000 niggas in the chat.
Man,
Somebody give you.
they be doing crazy numbers, and I'm like,
Stupid.
yo, people actually having conversation. This is a crazy conversation. I mean, it just be crazy. Like I was watching one of your one of your videos you got put out when they was talking about how people don't like somebody. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
he
I'm at-
really on this? Is this a man that's really
Yes.
on the internet asking, so who don't like me? So who don't
Yes. Yeah. I swear on my life, I'm literally editing that part right now. I swear I'm not even joking with you. That part literally just up to like 5 minutes ago, I went past that part. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So who
Yeah.
who tell me who don't like me? And I was like, are we for this is society today.
The grown ass man.
It's society today.
It was 300 people in the chat.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was intense.
That's crazy. But when you try to get them to come on and watch something of substance like this, something that's going to teach them their real history, something that's going to show them, look, you can get out of the crazy contracts that you've been put into, something that's going to show them how to set up their trust, their family estate, right? Because these people ain't playing. These people ain't playing. They didn't let over 9 million illegals. Not over 9 million illegals in here. And they tearing up everybody's city that they in. They don't care because they're not from here. Yeah. They're not getting what they want. So they tearing up. And then the crazy part about it is, why are I put the drop on how they let all these military age men are coming in here. If you fleeing from your country because of oppression, and why you ain't bringing your family? So what I found is the reason why all of these men are allowed to come in without any real screening and background and just let them through is because they're saying they're part of the alphabet gang.
Sure.
They're saying that they're part of the alphabet gang. Not only are they saying they're part of the alphabet gang, everybody keeps talking about how they it's a stench in the cities, like it smelled like feces. And I'm like, yeah. I remember when they said syphilis was on the rise and there was a syphilis outbreak. You remember that? Yeah, they try to say it was because of the women down in Houston, Texas.
Oh yeah.
Having these crazy parties, and that's the reason why syphilis was on the rise. Nah, fam. See, because the CDC put out a video and said if you are a man and you have intercourse with another man at least once a year, you need to get tested for syphilis. They ain't say nothing about women. They said if you are a man.
That's crazy.
Because syphilis is on the rise. See, because back in the day, AIDS wasn't called AIDS. It was called the grid. Right? And the grid was known, you got the grid, which was a bacterial infection. And the bacterial infection comes from what's called C. diff. And you're only going to get that from anal intercourse. C. diff. See, they don't tell you all of this, but they tell you you can be free and live your life, and it's the best thing for you. And the whole time you killing yourself because you just want to be so free. You want to be so debasing. Yeah. So that's why the cities stink and it smell like feces. Because you got a bunch of bati boys in these cities. And that's the persecution that they was running away from in their countries. They can't be free. Woo! You can't make none of this stuff up. It's like watching a movie. Yeah, it's like watching a movie.
You can't make this goofy, stupid, retarded like that and crap up. This is too much. What's up, Arshaw? Yeah, I'm set.
Yeah, it's like watching. Peace out. Thank you for coming, Arshawn. Yeah, that's what they doing. Is what they're doing. And think about it now. All of these military age men,
Mm-hmm.
they all on the down low, right? And these the same men that's going to be pursuing the women. Mm-hmm. And they the carriers of syphilis. Yeah.
That's stressful.
It's vicious. And when I tell you it's vicious, and then they're gonna play it, they're gonna try to play it like, oh, it's another virus. And oh no, not only that, but don't you know that is it Title 42? Forget the subsection. But yeah, there's a title in 42 on public health. Yeah, they can quarantine you and concentration camp you if you have a venereal disease because you are an enemy to the military. To the military.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Yeah.
So when they said, remember back in the day, they were saying Obama had a secret army, like a secret military. That military was under public health. The public health, it's an agency that he had created under public health policy. Yeah, they got it all planned out. You know, right now, the governor of New York, she wants to, oh man, yeah, she gonna implement what they calling COVID camps. They're gonna knock on your door and tell you gotta come up out of here. And we're gonna take you and we're gonna test you and we're gonna quarantine you. We're gonna do whatever we want to do to you. Yeah, the matter of fact, they said it was unconstitutional, right? So the Attorney General for the state of New York said in his closing remarks in the appellate court in New York, he said, "Oh yeah, they tried to say it was the reason why we couldn't do it is because of due process." So no, not at all. No, it doesn't violate due process at all. And the reason why I don't violate due process is because you got a patent, you property.
Mm-hmm.
So you got them 1 cent burgers, them 50. Yeah, Wendy's got the 1 cent burger. McDonald's got the 50-cent burger.
I wouldn't eat that.
Burger King got the whatever you buy, you get a free burger. Yeah, that's the new that's the new one is the burger. So we don't even call it. We don't call it the jab anymore. We don't call it the juice anymore. We call it the burger.
That's people. I'm convinced that that's people. I don't want any parts. It's not something I wouldn't participate in that. The Beyond Burger, like I'm not doing that.
It's the burger.
Yeah, it's stressful.
They didn't put it in the burger. It's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, so New York gonna be the first one to actually have the concentration camps. It's
Makes
crazy.
sense.
It's crazy because all of my life I've been hearing about these camps, and we've been saying that one day it was going to happen. Shout out to New York, the Empire State. You did it. You actually was able to pull it off. So yeah, New York, you know that's where they start at. You know, California be right behind them. Illinois will be behind them. You know, these blue states, you know, they're going to be behind them. In Chicago right now, they got these illegals living in O'Hare Airport. Now, I've been in Chicago O'Hare Airport in the wintertime where it is freezing below 0 temperatures. And they kicking the homeless out like, no, you ain't got a ticket. You got to get up out of here. You ain't got a ticket. You can't sleep here. No, you can't stay. No. But they let these illegals live in the airport. Like, it's so easy to take over and do whatever you want to do now. Like they didn't lax all the rules for them. Yeah, they didn't lax all the rules for them. Yeah, ain't no, ain't it's like what happened to TSA? There's no security now at the airport. Out of all places, you gonna put them in the airport where the regular residents that live there can't even sleep there in the dead of winter. Chicago winters are below 0 at night.
Fucking, that's Alaska. I ain't never on the other. I can't. That's stressful. That's too much.
Look, I keep telling everybody, y'all need to be calling ICE every day, giving a description of these people, letting them know that there's illegal aliens, illegals here.
Oh, white people?
They tearing up them too. I'm talking about the 9 million plus they just let in. Just come on in, come on. Have you seen the videos? Them coming all the way from, they're coming from Venezuela all the way. They said they have over like 200 checkpoints. But the crazy part about it, they give them maps on trails on how to get here.
Oh, one day. They have some fuck shit. I mean, listen, I'm not surprised me.
Infrastructure can't even. Come on, you got to think about it. When roads are built, it's built based on the maximum amount of traffic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That normally will either be driving or walking or running up and down these roads. We talking about 9+ million people within the past couple of months. You understand what that's going to do to what it's doing to the infrastructure? And what I don't understand, I'm starting to feel like Nike is actually behind a lot of this because I'm seeing a lot of what Nike's on. Like they got Nike t-shirts, Nike jackets, Nike swoosh pants.
Mm.
Where they getting all this Nike from? The outlet?
From the U.S. government. I mean, you can get big. You see Ukraine, they can give some Nike outfit. As long as you do our bidding.
Right.
The U.S. is what's the nigga from with the cat?
Right. Perfect Square said, and helping them infiltrate our neighborhoods and kicking us out. Exactly. Atlanta right now, they're flooding Atlanta. They just flooded out Chicago, July? They was flooding out Chicago. Yeah, all of the places that they're flooding out to get us out. Because they want to build up these smart cities. The only way they can build up these smart cities, which ain't nothing but an upgraded camp, is they gotta get us out of them. So that's why I'm a stickler. I keep telling everybody, if you haven't already, do your genealogy. Go back and find your family's land. Right? Like Cop City that's going on right now, the fight over Cop City in Atlanta right now. That's a forest. That's one of our ancient forests. And they're talking about they're going to build a Cop City, which is going to be the largest police training facility in the world, Craig. Where they locking people up that they just, oh my goodness. They just filed a RICO. on an organization that's against Cop City. They said they locked people up. They locked up people for passing out flyers. How you get a RICO for passing out flyers?
What are you gonna call it? Paper terrorism?
Oh my goodness. For passing out flyers. Yeah, they fighting hard for that. Exactly. Replacing us with Africans and Caribbeans who are with the program. Exactly. That's why I keep telling everybody, go back and claim your family's land. Go back and claim your family's land. Stop allowing these people to just take. These are foreigners. Because, see, they know it's over for them. They know it's over. They know it's over with for them. The best thing they did for us was shut down in 2020. Because everybody was on YouTube. Everybody was on Clubhouse. Everybody's on TikTok. And in these rooms, learning. Yeah, that was the best thing for us, was the shutdown. Yeah, they fighting hard. They really trying to destroy our home as much as possible. They know it's a wrap for them. So if anybody is looking to get their trust set up, their family's estate, anybody looking for any help with their court cases, reach out to us. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Set up a consultation. Miguel, how you want to leave out?
Hey man, you know what I said, ain't but two classes on this planet ever been through. You were world class or you wild class. And the question is not which class do you want to live in. The question is which class are the ones coming behind you deserve for you to die in. On your feet, on your knees, respect the crack. No.
Peace.
That's
it, y'all. So we'll be back here. I plan to come back here on Wednesday, so look out for the notification. I'm gonna drop something else that you can utilize for credit restoration. You know, I'm always giving out free templates that you can utilize to help and correct your credit, build your credit up. I've just been going to ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT certain questions, and ChatGPT just been giving me templates. So I'm definitely going to give it out to y'all. I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting. I want to say honors to each and every one of you all who came up on the panel and spoke. Brother Kemet Speaks. I'm on your top, fam. I am on your top. Every time I see you, I'm on your top. With that, I'm going to say peace to each and every one of y'all. I enjoyed the build.
Protecting my peace for so long, a little too good, now I'm solo. Watching reruns of the same shows. Almost everybody I'm a no-show. Even with green lights I don't go. Never been sure, no I don't know. How does everybody has to let go of the ego? Don't go out nearly as much as I should. Barely know the way around my neighborhood. I'm ruminating, I feel no good. Not living life like I know I could. Like I know I could. situations you have to go through. I think I need therapy now. Recycling all the same doubts. Heard it a million times, cause I tell myself all the same lies. I might need therapy